said he left some flipping fish behind. He was correct. Old D-bomber. Okay, fresh back from Lake Tenkiller here. I got all these casting rods that I was using at Lake Tenkiller. The lake was up, a lot of bushes, trees, all that kind of stuff to fish on the bank. But I got a little perplexed because I caught some fish offshore and I caught some fish up in the bushes. As you can see, a lot of fun flipping bushes. Love doing that. In practice, I could not see the quality that I knew it was going to take to do well there. So I ended up kind of going half and half. I mean, I fished everything. I fished chatterbaits, topwaters, deep crankbaits, medium running crankbaits, rock crawlers, little johns, fat johns. I fished all kind of stuff and I ended up catching all of my fish the first 2 days of Lake Tenkiller at that Bassmaster Elite series on two baits. One was the Missile Baits Magic Worm. Whenever I got off the bank, I was throwing the Missile Baits Magic Worm in the 6-inch. This is Ed's Orange. If it was overcast, which we had a lot of storms and we had a lot of rain during the event, before the event and during the event, I was throwing that Ed's Orange right there on a, a 2-aught G-Finesse light wire worm hook. That is just kind of my go-to money scenario. And I had an 1/8 ounce Spro tungsten swivel on there, a little bit shorter leader. That's what I threw when it was overcast. I had almost an identical setup for when it was sunny. When it was sunny, the fish seemed to be a little bit deeper in that 10 to 15 range is where I caught most of those ones. When it was sunny, I would go to the Blueback Secret color, a great tried and true color. And you know, I'm just looking around, looking for bass. Sometimes they were around cover, sometimes they were around some rocks. Sometimes they would be around a little piece of brush or a bigger piece of brush or some kind of structure. And again, the Cashin drop shot rod, absolute money for that deal. Had the GX reel from 7. That was the deal there. And then I had the 16-pound Sunline All Might, which is that sinking braid. It's easier. You just pitch it out there, it goes down. Then I had about a 16 to 20 foot leader of 10-pound FC Sniper. That's typically what I use on a drop shot. Might use other leaders around more cover, but when I'm fishing more open water, I want that real supple line, and I really like that. Either FC leader or FC Sniper, either one. Both of them work really good. But the other deal, whenever I got around the bushes, fishing up shallow, I had a kind of a 1-2 punch. I had, that's right, a Missile Baits D-bomb, and I had that with a 1/2 ounce tungsten weight and a 5-aught Gamakatsu heavy cover worm hook. That's what that is right there. That is the absolute money setup. Had a little bobber stop up above it to keep the sinker from going too high. Had both of my setups on a Sunline Shooter, 20-pound test. That is the absolute money flipping setup. The 1/2 ounce sinker I had on the Cashin Icon flipping stick with the heavy action. And then again, the reel from 7. This is the GS model, high speed, 8.1 to 1 gear ratio. Just absolute money right there. And that was the heavier action. And that color right there, there were a lot of bluegill swimming around in the bushes. And that color right there is called Buck's Shot. And that is from, it's only available at Bucks Island Outdoors. Bucks Island is there in Alabama, Southside Alabama, near Lake Neely Henry. That is I love that color for whenever I'm trying to emulate those bluegill. It looks just like the bluegill. But I also had just a standard green pumpkin as well. I've caught a million fish on the standard green pumpkin with a 3/8. That's a Gamakatsu flipping sinker. Same hook, that same 5-aught Gamakatsu hook, same 20-pound test. I caught, I don't know, maybe I caught a few more on the 3/8 than the 1/2, but I caught a fish on both. But again, never saw the quality in practice. so I didn't commit to flipping bushes, unfortunately. So it's the same setup here as the other one, but I had the medium heavy action on this one since it's a little bit lighter sinker. I just feel like it's a little bit more accurate when you're flipping and pitching. You know, I tried all kind of stuff, as I mentioned, chatterbaits, glide baits, you name it, all kind of different stuff I was throwing. But the most consistent bite was flipping bushes and live scoping out from the bushes. Those two were my two deals. Anytime you go to Lake Tenkiller, anything in that region, you can definitely catch fish doing both of those. Especially if the water's up in the bushes, you definitely want to be hitting those bushes up. And if not, you can live scope out in front, hit brush, rocks, anything that's off the bank. If you can see those fish, boom. Put that drop shot to where you get their attention. Sometimes you might have to kind of like get it up off the bottom until they see it, and then let it sink back down. They'll follow it down, and then just kind of hold it, fish it real slow, and then boom, they'll come and get it. Just reel down, set the hook. I did not have a good tournament at all there at Lake Tenkiller. Finished in the 90s, but I caught a bunch of fish. I mean, I caught probably 10 keepers the first day and probably closer to 20 on the second day. But you know, I only had a 2-pound average and never had those 3-pounders that it takes to kind of differentiate yourself. It only took 12.5 pounds a day to make the cut, to make the top 50. But 10 pounds a day puts you in the 90s. So it's very, very tight on the weights. You got to have a couple of those better fish. That's not what I was able to figure out. Looking back on it, I wish I would have you know, as long as there's water in those bushes, I should have just stayed in the bushes exclusively and lived and died by them. But it was hard to do when in practice, the better quality that I was seeing, the 2.5 pluses in practice, were all on the live scope with the magic worm. That was the deal in practice for catching those little bit bigger ones. So it was kind of hard for me to kind of go away from that and just do all flipping when I was not seeing the quality in practice. But sometimes you get deceived by practice, and that's why we love it, and we try to get it dialed in, and we try to keep it going. But that was my Lake Tenkiller. A couple more fish catches to show you here afterwards. And if you have any comments or anything you want to place, drop it down there. Huge congratulations to Wes Logan for winning that tournament. Wes Logan is a great angler, and came back with a huge comeback on day 4. And then Andrew Loberg, 1 ounce, dude, 1 ounce, so close, really good. And Lola's over here getting into all my stuff, so I better get her before she gets into all my stuff. But Andrew Loberg, way to go. You'll get your blue trophy at some point, man. Good job. Bam, son. Booyah. Booyaka. Smoked him again. Booyah! magic. Schworm.